For the 78th time, Thanksgiving Day football has come to Detroit, and we're underway from Ford Field. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by Kirk Cousins, their Pro Bowl quarterback, in his 6th season now.
And I'll bet right now just one thought in his mind.
Win the game. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's the offense, and when you talk about this offense, you certainly have to talk about all-day AP, Adrian Peterson.
Does not shy away from contact. Also has the speed to go the distance. It's the rare combination that you get from one of the great runners of all time in the NFL. 2,000 yards every year is the goal. I never bet against him.
And right away, he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 22 carries, 91 yards.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
Now Stafford toward the pylon, caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And now the Lions defensive starters.
Brandon, I remember when Glover Quinn came out of the University of New Mexico as a cornerback, transitioned to the safety position. His forte, intelligence, understanding other teams' offenses, where they try to attack, and puts himself in a great position to make plays against the ball.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one. But no second-guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
A quick feed from Tate, and now running right through it. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Tate, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 68 yards.
And that put him over 1,000 yards for the season. And the benchmark for running backs, 1,000 yards. The same for receivers. When you have that kind of a year, you've had a monster one.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. For 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
So it'll be first down here after the run. Here's Stafford. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Everson Griffin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Out to the flat for Reddick. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Out of the gun, Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Everson Griffin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost And the lead moves to 10-zip. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They go play action here on first down. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they could do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. They give it to Peterson. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
With that last carry, Adrian Peterson has gone over 12,000 yards in his career. He becomes the 16th member of that elusive club.
How about that? The next 3 guys that are on the list that he can pass, all Hall of Famers. Thurman Thomas, Franco Harris, and Marcus Allen. No wonder his dad called him AD for all day. That man can go.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Cousins now. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. To the air again, it's Cousins. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it? Touchdowns.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And oh, he spins past him and into space. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Able to pick up a healthy chunk of yards, 7-yard gain, but a tough 3rd and 9 upcoming. Play action. Stafford. And Tate's got it. Touchdown, Detroit. Golden Tate with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Lions add on to their lead. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Especially when you got a guy going off like this, I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden, because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
Cousins. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. That's a matchup maybe they go back to their outer third of the field as this game continues.
Yeah, I think back to my high school coach, John Ford. He used to say when we got big plays early in a game or good plays, he'd always say, foul it away, lad, foul it away, because he'd want to come back to it later in a key situation. They may come back to this one a little more often than that.
Didn't he say laddie or did he say lad?
Yeah, it just depended on what he was feeling at the moment.
Okay, I thought that was the guy you told me about. He used to say laddie a lot.
Laddie, when you heard laddie, he was usually in a pretty good mood. Lad,
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag. First down, here's a run with Peterson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, second down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
10 yards still left on second down. Again, Peterson. And he'll only get a yard, maybe two, up to the 46. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Throwing, Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Peterson. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On play action, Cousins. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ziggy Ansah. He's the one to get it, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So we're through a quarter here on Thanksgiving Day. Already 17-0 our score. We're back to the Motor City after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, but they face a second and long to start things out. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a third and long here. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage. Really
in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. And Ndamukong Suh in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Here's a look at Golden Tate as he heads back onto the field now. And CD, assuming he stays healthy, assuming the health, should get to that 1,000-yard mark pretty easily.
And the best part of what he's done so far is allows him and the team to relax their pursuit a little bit. Meaning, if they just have normal games, they'll get to the 1,000-yard mark. They don't have to force anything. But one of the reasons he's having the year he's having is what I call route running arrogance. They think there's no one that can cover them. No matter how many people are put in his direction, it just doesn't matter. He's going to find a way to beat them. And so far this year, he's done exactly that.
He sure has. Going to give this time to the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play. The one that they got on the previous one, they tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that second attempt. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. To throw again. Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's got to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. Throwing on third down, Stafford. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now Stafford. A left side completion to Jones. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Stafford, and able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far. Yeah,
and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took him a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And our focus now moves to Adrian Peterson. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They run again with Peterson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Handoff comes to Peterson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 3rd down, Cousins. Incomplete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing his Cousins. This is caught. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up the first down.
Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Here's Peterson. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I've played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Yeah, absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Here's Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Gary Barnidge, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. That is good, and that'll make it 20-7. Forbath out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Stafford on first down. Over the middle, complete to Tate. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 15 yards there for number 15. Offense lining up 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. So the offense has it 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. A very solid gain of 27. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
On 1st and 10, Stafford to the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Stafford looks to throw again. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion 1st down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over, and we'll see what they come up with here on this next play. On 1st down, Stafford here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now Stafford on 3rd and goal. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Now it's Matt Prater on for the Lion field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will swell the lead to 16. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
This will be taken in at the 1. There's a nice move. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter? And continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time.
They were really good on the last drive. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Okay, Brandon, thanks. And welcome, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Lions are happy to be in front right now and just want to play 2 more solid quarters. The Vikings just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. All right, let's roll those highlights. Now after the fumble, Stafford's got the completion here, and this play will go for 6 late in the first quarter as they get out to a 7-0 lead. Tate's wide open here on the catch, and that goes as a 55-yard touchdown. 3rd down from inside the 10. Lions push the lead to 17. Cousins gonna find his mark, and this play will go for 6, trailing now by 13. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get you back up to Ford Field as we hand it back over to Brandon Guy.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Another plateaued for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Cousins. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
The Lions on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And look out, a big hit to the shoulder pads. Took him right off his feet. Right there at the 43. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. the 50 at Stanford. And he fires one, but incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Here's Sam Martin now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Well, last year, I'm not sure we saw very many of those runs, did we, from the Vikings? I mean, they had the poorest rushing attack in the league.
Just 75 yards per game, but carries like the one we just saw, that'll help bolster that average.
Yeah, certainly, and they tried to beef up the offensive line in the offseason, brought in Latavius Murray, and then drafted Dalvin Cook out of Florida State.
And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Carry number 20 now for Peterson. And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a third down and 8.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, third and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Second down, Cousins. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a third down. They'll run it. Here's Peterson. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
But he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And he'll get off a fairly short kick here, as this is toward the sideline. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Where they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Now a play fake here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells. And that'll make it third down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. 4 yards remaining now on second down. Peterson. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They go play action here on first down. Going up top. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 54 yards.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
We're on to the fourth here on Thanksgiving Day. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. So So 2nd and goal here from the 9. They try again with Peterson. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Cousins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it. And that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now it's Stafford. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there. That brings up 4th.
But they're certainly being aggressive here. It's like being a sprinter in a 100-meter dash, exploding out of the blocks, trying to push the ball downfield. Guaranteed this defense better be on their toes. They're going to be tested all game.
This is taken at about the 14. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Decent start there to the drive. Big hill to climb, needing 2 touchdowns, also a 2-2-point conversion.
So, partner, how do you eat an elephant?
I don't eat an elephant. Who eats elephant?
Well, if you do it 1 bite at a time. Okay. That's the way they've got to play this. One play at a time. Yes, there's urgency, but they have to be careful as well.
Let's go with like a 50-ounce ribeye.
Yeah.
One bite at a time.
All right, I'm with you.
23 yards on the play. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Peterson. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll throw again. Cousins. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Armani Bryant able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case, because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. And that'll set them back 5. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And a nice gain at 21 yards. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. The big man get the oxygen tank ready, and he will score. Touchdown, Lions. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Prater on to add the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Powerful running. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And the Vikings now heading onto the field.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
First down, here's Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Cousins now on second down. Here's a screen to Powell. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. And Ndamukong Suh in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Second down following the run.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Play clock winding down. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball to their territory.
They start the drive with Peterson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. Able to break the tackle, but then quickly brought down just outside of the 5. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Fresh set of downs here. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. As they run the counter play. And now running right through it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads. Bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And Roberts with it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That throw has to be a quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it
because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, the win keeps them barely hanging on to their playoff hopes as they move to 4 and 7. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7 and 4 now on the year. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.